The 18th and final part. Yes, the final part of Celebrian. Not for children under 18. 3 centuries after she had serviced her first Orc King, a visiting Orc watched her performance for a week. He found it hard to recognize the elf under the fat breast, distended by endless tittyfucks, the skin covered in obscene tattoos, the heavy jewelry of cocks and pussies, and the generally thick layer of semen coating her at most times. Her teats were now a foot long and 2 inches wide when aroused, as they almost always were. Somewhere along the centuries, by magic or use, they had grown to where they could become as hard as a male's cock. Her labia, still delicate lavender, hung several feet down her thighs after so much use. Her pussy itself could easily swallow an orc's arm, although she could clench it tight around a dog's cock if she wanted to. She was thoroughly depraved and thoroughly pleased with her life. Before he left, he calculated that she had given something on the order of 2 million blowjobs, 2 million pussy fucks, 2 million ass fucks, and 2 million titty fucks. With her well-trained orcs, wargs, and horses, that was something like 2 million pints of semen as well. The orc shook his head in admiration before leaving. Who knew how many she would service before she was done? She could last for millennia. And we're done! Yes, I feel so elated right now. 21,000 words of nothing but depraved weirdness. Whoever wrote this needs to die. A horrible, horrible death. It has been shown this is a troll, but even if this is a troll, someone had to write that. Someone had to sit down and say, you know what? Let's write a troll story. Let's write it about Celebrian. Let's write it 21,000 words on Celebrating getting fucked to death. And you're like, why? Just why? You know, there's also a moment in this fic when you're reading it and you realize that it can't get any worse, and then it does, and then you realize you've become desensitized to it. And it's an interesting point of between insanity and something else, and you don't know what it is, but you realize you've crossed that point twice, and you can't go back. You cannot go back. So if you stuck with me to the very end, I applaud you with your bravery. Now, I really do feel for you. But if you liked this reading, this is probably the worst our channel will ever do. Maybe. I mean, unless something else comes out worse than this, which I hope to God it doesn't. But we have, you know, regular readings of shorter stories as well, so you don't have to sit down and listen to me prattle on for ages. So, check our channel out, The Dramatic Readings, on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed this reading of Celebrian, a bad fic.